Welcome to the Whole Athlete Podcast, where we focus on discussing topics to help you become a fat burner, optimize health, and improve performance in life and sports. Transform the whole you from the inside out with the WHOLESTIC method. Let's dive in. Here's your host, Debbie Potts.
Hey guys, it's Debbie, and I'm doing a new episode for my Wednesday edition of the Whole Athlete Podcast to talk about how you can rebuild the whole you from the inside out with the WHOLESTIC method. And today talking more about functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, the 3-step approach to healing, rebuilding, and renewing the whole you. So you're optimizing your health from a cellular level. And as I did in nutritional therapy as a NTP, nutritional therapy practitioner, and Keon coach, and learning about DNA Fit, and now FDN practitioner, it's really fascinating to me how we can take all these different modalities and way of looking at the whole person and put them together into an individualized program to optimize your health, your mitochondria, your performance in daily life, but to improve your performance gains in your sports. And then, of course, most importantly, longevity, improving the aging process. Because a lot of what we do as competitive athletes or just those trying to exercise to stay healthy is we're doing that on top of a busy life and living life as a race. We have chronic stress in our life externally. But then we have a lot of these internal hidden stressors that we're really not aware of unless we do functional lab testing. And then we can look at our genetic profile, as I did in a recent podcast, and how you can upload your raw data that you can get from Ancestry DNA or 23andMe and upload into a program as DNA Fit. And then you can get your more individualized reports on your genetic disposition for exercise and nutrition, and now sleep and stress, or additional reports on there. So what I'm doing is really working on being a health and wellness detective and putting all this information into an individualized program, a protocol. So I'm doing more one-on-one coaching, but I'm not trying to sell you on that right now. I'm just trying to explain the why and why it's so important. I think if you're trying to be a biohacker and optimize your health, you follow Dave Asprey and Ben Greenfield and all these other leaders in our industry, that we really can, do more for our health rather than, just doing the grounding exercises and the infrared saunas and the cold plunge pools and all these different things that we can do are great to improve our longevity, because we're working on strengthening our mitochondria function and we're working on that hormesis, the good amount of stress. So what we always talk about is stress isn't bad, it's a chronic stress. It's just that short bursts, and that's why all these different techniques that you can do to so-called biohack your performance longevity are short bursts. Like I'm studying red light therapy, near-infrared therapy. It's, more is not better. The optimal benefits are from short duration if it's, 3 to 5 minutes. Same thing with, I think, cold thermogenesis and doing infrared saunas. It's not more is better. It's working on less is more and more quality over quantity. That goes with your exercise, your training programs. I think a lot of that has to do with fasting. Intermittent fasting is natural part of, how we've evolved, and just eating when you're hungry and not having food available 24/7. But doing longer periods of fasting, some people might be too much for them, and not doing a 3-day fast every week. So point is, more is not better. Less is more sometimes, but it's finding that right amount for you in everything that I call the Goldilocks effect. And I think we tend to be overachievers, type A, AAA personalities, and really get to some program and just go all in. And I think tendencies to go overboard on new biohacking techniques or new food plan or fasting or whatever is hot and new, and we get burned out. And just kind of with chronic stress and overtraining and training for races and doing a new food plan as I listen and read these posts on Facebook on keto for beginners, and it's just sustainability is my main word I'm trying to get across. The Goldilocks effect, what's good amount for you, not having that addictive personality and going all in, and if you don't do it all, you quit and do nothing. So finding that right amount that you can make a part of your lifestyle. Make this new eating habit to balance your blood sugar and optimize your mitochondria with your food and your nutrition, or food and exercise and lifestyle habits, the holistic method, to be the right amount for you, that you're not going to just die off in 30 days. And this is appropriate conversation to have as it's the new year coming up in a few weeks. And I just see a lot of people already trying to do program and trying to change what they eat and keep their carbs down to 20 grams and trying to do what someone else did. And it's just stressful to me. It's like, people, you're not the same as that friend you're listening to or that person you're reading his post on Instagram or Facebook. And then there's the issue of what I learned a year ago, kind of figured out on my own as well from my Keon group page, but it's talking what Dr. Stacy Sims is talking about for women. And we're going to dive deeper into that in the new year. But women have menstrual cycles, men do not. So we're not designed as men, so men and women shouldn't follow the exact same protocol either with your exercise, nutrition. And I think we get sucked into doing what everyone else does. And that's kind of why I'm not a big fan of a lot of research studies, because you look at who the studies were based on, and you have to really get a lot of research studies to make your own decision and form your own impression of what works and what's valid. And a lot of it is applying it to yourself, and does it work or does it not work? How do you feel? Do you feel better? Do you feel healthier, energetic? Do you feel more focus and clarity? And that's kind of what you have to do. N=1, because men and women are different. A lot of the research studies aren't done on people exactly like you, your age, your gender, your lifestyle habits, your genetics, your approach to stress. And so anyways, that's just kind of my, not really rant, but just thoughts for today. But I wanted to talk to you about why I think it's really important to do functional lab testing as a FDN practitioner can help you, because as I wrote in my book, Life is Not a Race, hopefully you guys read the book or bought it for a gift for yourself or someone else. It's on Amazon. Life is Not a Race, it's a journey with the holistic method. And then my manual, the holistic method manual, which I wrote started writing this about 2015 and putting all this information together. So it's almost due for a update, which there's so much more we keep learning. And I think I should add, I'm starting a new book club. Someone gave me a great idea yesterday, and reading Dr. Stacy Sims' book called Roar, and that is going to be our first book of the month club. So if you want to learn more and continue your education as just someone that's into performance and longevity, or just optimizing your health, I will give you different ideas for books to read each month. And then I and Erin Carson and perhaps Dina Griffin will do a podcast about the book. So the first book we're reading, which both of us started reading, I just started reading it last night, Roar, the book on Women Are Not Small Men, Dr. Stacy Sims. Excellent book. I just read the first few pages last night, so I've got a ways to go, but makes total sense. And also what I've learned from Ben Greenfield as a Keon coach last year, we went over that as well when we worked on the exercise programming for individuals. It's different for women based on their menstrual cycle, what they eat and how they train. So I will write more about that in a blog. So anyways, FDN practitioners act more as a health detective and will help collect all this data instead of just treating the lab results, as most practitioners and doctors and naturopaths will do for you, is looking at all this information together. I'm not going to treat your results. I love being an FDN practitioner because it's exactly what no one did for me and what I figured out through my own journey, that doing all these labs and taking supplements do not work unless you work on changing the whole you from the inside out with the holistic method. Note why and how I created my program back in 2015, and now I'm focusing my full energy on creating coaching programs for clients, is that you have to do the work. It's not just taking a supplement, taking hormone pills, taking adrenal supplements, working on a gut repair program with a drink mix. You have to put in the work. So if you want to optimize your health, you're working on your biohacking techniques. Maybe you have unexplained symptoms no one's helping with. Maybe you're like me and you had sudden chronic fatigue and muscle loss and lack of energy to do anything, and I gained 30 pounds in a few months, even though I was doing low carb, I was training by heart rate, I was doing my intervals, until I had nothing in the tank. I couldn't do anything but nap in the afternoons, and my muscles seemed to disintegrate and my fat just came on overnight. Like I put on a sumo wrestling kit with those blown up dolls. I just felt like a big mush ball. So my passion and purpose is to help others as myself avoid going through what I had happen starting back in 2013. So that is my mission in the new year, is just to focus on being a health and wellness coach to help others, yes, burn fat, optimize health, mitochondria function, improve your performance, get more gains in your training, and working on longevity, improving the aging process. I'm not going to write your swim, bike, run workout schedules or your training schedule. Someone else could do that. My focus is to work on your lifestyle, the nutrition, the exercise, sleep, stress, mobility drills, your digestion and gut health, your hydration and happiness, gratitude, play, loosening up, having fun more often. And as an FDN practitioner, I'm not only working on collecting all this data, investigating the whole you with your lifestyle, with nutritional therapy assessment, with the DNA fit reports, gut biome. We're going to take all this information and use it in our investigation of your individual case of what we call metabolic chaos. We're collecting clues and working on really putting the missing pieces of the puzzle together to help restore your health and vitality from the inside out. Because what we'll do with your nutrition, with your sleep, with your exercise protocol, with your stress management and the supplementation protocol we designed specifically for your needs based on all this information, these clues, is to optimize the function of every cell, tissue, organ, and body system. Now, you think that you can just guess what's going on inside of you. We can't always guess. We want to test. So it's very good, I think, to invest in your health as you would for your dog or your animal, your pet, for your family members, to invest in functional lab testing and a health coach. So many people just don't want to spend that money on themselves, and you really are just throwing darts. You're not really having a specific plan on healing yourself and rebuilding or optimizing your performance. If maybe you don't have any specific symptoms, but how do you know you're feeling and performing the best that you can? So what can you do to optimize the whole you? Well, get all this information and let's put it together and identify your areas of opportunity. What areas are the missing links that are contributing to a little bit of imbalance or a lot of imbalances in your whole body in each body systems, because it's a domino effect. When one body system is slightly off, everything's off, as I said in my book years ago. So now I'm finally figuring out how to help people, because no one could really help me the way I needed help. So what is an FDN practitioner? Well, they're kind of a health detective. I like to think of, we're putting, as I said, the pieces of the puzzle together. But how do we do that? We incorporate functional lab testing that we have. Reed Davis, the founder, has kind of 5 main tests, and we can do some other ones that are created with a program based on the lab results, based on your information that we collect from you. And then we create data-driven protocols. We give you educational tools to help learn how to improve your wellness and lifestyle habits. And it's individual. It's unique to you and to your body's needs based on all this data we collect. It's not the one-size-fits-all approach you're going to get free online or by reading 1,000 other Facebook posts on people what work for them, because you are unique. You are the only you. So we help put the missing pieces of the puzzle together with the investigative 3-step process to collect clues and to form an impression. With all this information, reveal imbalances, repair the body systems, and rebuild the whole individual back to optimal health and wellness. So if you really want to improve your performance, it's not just your training program and doing fasting, doing the cold therapy, the infrared saunas. It's working on your stressors, external stressors that we have, and internal stressors. I find a lot of people, we all have some level of leaky gut. We all have different areas of opportunity, but we don't know it because I often find we think that's our normal. We get used to how we feel, and we don't realize we can be a step or 2 or 3 or 4 levels higher. We can feel amazing, but we get comfortable with how we feel, and this is our normal. Well, I just redid my lab test, and I'm still really low in my hormone panel. Everything's really low. And then I have my genetics. I looked at that, and I put those in different reports to kind of see more about me. And then I have the other areas of opportunity based on my metabolic assessment, and I still need to finish my MRT assessment and my gut biome, or the gut pathogen test. So putting all this information together for myself with my own coach, because I think everyone needs to work with a health coach. But, I feel good. I'm sleeping really well. My workout's okay. I'm trying to work on running. I'm going to return to racing next year. But as I said in another show, I don't know if I should race. My hormones are really low. And if I start training longer duration, it's more my running, that's really hard on your body. So I'm more focused on the mitochondria function, how to optimize my mitochondria. And we'll talk about that upcoming episodes. But I'm taking MitoQ and True Niagen, and I'm working on my different supplements and lifestyle habits to improve my mitochondria function with what I eat and how I train. But really, point is, I didn't know I had such a big room for improvement unless I did lab testing. So, and I shouldn't be racing because my lab results were so crappy on my ones that I did do. My oxidative stress is really high, my liver congestion, and my protein digestion is horrible. So I'm not getting my amino acids that I need for rebuilding my muscles, and I'm not getting the amino acids to break down into neurotransmitters, and having poor protein digestion can lead to gut dysbiosis. And it's this whole domino effect with just that one lab test. So we can identify so many different clues to areas of opportunity with the functional labs, but not just doing the one. You can, if you're on a budget, like I just did the first 3 tests, but ideally if you can, just do all 5 at once and then put the big picture together, or you can just start with the metabolic assessment and GI panel and your hormone panel, because you might have some pathogens that are contributing to internal chronic stress that you don't know about unless you test. So that is a big part of what we do as FDN practitioners. So we're working on just one diagnosis to build health, to build you up from the inside out. Metabolic chaos. What is metabolic chaos? That's kind of the only diagnosis we'll give. And what Reed Davis is saying to us to share with you is that metabolic chaos is a state of health that exists because of the complexities in one's metabolism and underestimated influences from the environment. So correlation between the symptoms and cause is very unpredictable. One clue of metabolic chaos is when intervention based on traditionally reliable cluster of symptoms produces only a marginal therapeutic response. Metabolic chaos is responsible for symptoms that would otherwise be ascribed to other causes. Contributors of metabolic chaos can be inborn, but they also can come from hidden stressors in the world today. So your symptoms don't always matter, and the root cause of your symptoms may be undetectable. But as we find out, they could be very far removed from what you may predict or measure as a cause. Like my lab tests. I didn't know I had a GI pathogen in my body, blastohominus. I didn't know my protein digestion was a +2 in my indican, or my oxidative stress levels were so high because of my lifestyle, because of the exercise I do. Even though I take antioxidants, we're still putting a lot on our body. And stress externally has been high as I closed my business. I was having emotional breakdowns every day for a few weeks. I was, really messed up. So that would help identify some of my external stressors, and then the labs will help identify internally. But how they accumulate, and you have this kind of filter. We talk about nutritional therapy as well. You have this beaker of stress. You can visualize this beaker on top of your head, and all the stress goes through this funnel, and it goes into your hypothalamus to interpret which stress is what. Well, it doesn't matter where the stress came from. Your hypothalamus doesn't pick and choose. This is that category. This is financials. This is my job. This is my family stress. This is my gut pathogen test stress, and it just takes it all into one. And so it's accumulating all these different sources of stress into one funnel. And your hypothalamus will send a signal to your pituitary gland, which will send a signal for your adrenal glands to respond to that stress. But remember, if it's constant stress, constant anything becomes chronic, and chronic anything leads to dysfunction, to malfunction, to imbalances, to internal breakdown. So whatever your chronic health complaints and concerns might be, the investigative process will do is help identifying your healing opportunities, correlating with your health history. We use a metabolic chaos scorecard. I'll use the nutritional therapy assessment, DNA fit report, all correlating with your functional lab tests that we choose to do. So again, I must say, we don't treat the lab results as they're not the problem, but instead we look for clues from all those labs and give us insights to help form an impression of your areas of opportunity, dysfunction, imbalances, vital voids, or what we say, metabolic chaos. So I think a lot of this is something we often need to do as athletes, especially all those people doing Ironmans, and these ultra races. It's just crazy the amount of stress you're putting on your body with that chronic exercise. And then you add on a busy lifestyle, and it's just a ton of stuff we put on our body. That stress from exercise alone. And then people put a high sugar diet. Maybe they're eating vegetable oils and processed foods because they're traveling, and there's a lot that goes on. So what we want to do is teach you. What I want to do is help bring you back to feel alive and thrive every day. So we're looking at those functional lab tests, but all 5 of them ideally combined together to help that clinical correlation reveal pathways those lab results, the clinical correlation will help reveal the pathways that we need to do to restore your body and reboot the body systems to optimal levels. So your body has its own innate intelligence. We just need to help support it, different body systems, stimulate things that aren't working, and activate I always think computer. Control, alternate, delete is all I know how to do to fix my computer when it's broken, right? We just need to do that to our body. Control, alternate, delete, reboot, as I just did to my other computer that's really sluggish, too many things running in the background, the Word document wasn't opening up, and things are missing, and it's broken. It's starting to slow down. So I need to reboot it. I need to clean out the junk in it. So think about that as your toxins. Get rid of those external stressors, too many things coming in to overload my computer, too many windows open, documents running in the background, and it's overloading the system. Well, what happens when your computer is slow? It starts to not run as fast as it should. And again, think of that as your body, or you can relate it to your car. Your computer, you can take in, you can reboot it, you can delete all the extra programs on there that are slowing it down and try again. But same with the car. The car might be looking shiny and clean and happy on the outside. Well, what if you never give it a tune-up and repair on the inside? What if your car, you don't get the oil changed? What if you haven't redone any of the spark plugs and the battery is slowing down? And I don't know cars obviously, but just all the stuff that goes on inside your car, you don't know if that it's broken on the inside unless it starts to slow down and show some symptoms. So those breakdown, that's gradual process of your car starting to have problems. You might have not seen any red flags or alerts on your car dashboard saying emergency, your car is starting to slow down, you need to take it in to the shop and get it reset and rebooted. I think that is just so important. What happened to me is that I didn't see all those red flags for years. As I wrote my book, Life is Not a Race, I went back to high school. Like, where did all this come from and accumulated? Why did this happen to me? And why am I struggling alone? But I realized I'm not, because I share this information on the podcast all the time. I'm not alone, but no one could help me at the time. I was seeing all these people. But point is, I had these red flags happen for a long time. Just as your car might be gradually breaking down as you're putting too many miles on it and you're not getting it tuned up and rebooting it and getting new parts and updating it and getting things functioning at optimal level, and suddenly your car breaks down the side of the road. What if you could have prevented that? What if you could have made your car last longer because you kept doing those updates twice a year? You kept doing the tests that the auto shop will do to get it functioning back to optimal level and improve the aging process of your car. Same thing with your body. If you just keep going, especially if you're exercising, you're competing as an athlete in different races, geez, you're asking your body so much. If you're breathing the air in our environment, all the toxins and chemicals, and then you go to your house and you have all those products that have chemicals in it, the Febreze, the detergents, the cleaners. If you haven't switched to a natural product, you're breathing in chemicals all the time. So your liver is getting overworked, getting congested. Everything else starts to slow down. You're having accumulation of stressors coming through that beaker of stress. You're overloading the HP axis system. When you do that, your immune system's depressed. Your thyroid's going to be depressed. Everything is connected. So your body is smart. It knows how to put emergency on priority. Your mitochondria are supposed to be making energy. But if there's a threat to your health, your body, your mitochondria goes into cell defense mode. They sense stress, so it's going to conserve energy. So you're going to be more tired. So we don't work on just working on the mitochondria or just working on your adrenals. or your gut health, we have to work everything because it's all going to impact the other. So that's why, obviously, I'm passionate about this. I totally believe in this system. This process is a 3-step process. If you want to feel alive and thrive every day, feeling your fullest, if you are curious, if this is all I can do right now, if this is the best I can do, what if you're only working at 50%? You have so much more energy you can get, brain focus, bloating, and everything will hopefully disappear once you start training and teaching your body how to work properly. Homeostasis, finding balance. So this struggle is real, and it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to feel like this is part of the aging process, which, I hate saying that. It's not the aging process. This isn't normal. It's not what you have to be. It's not about getting older. I'm going to write that down on your show notes. It is not about getting older, the aging process. It is about optimizing the whole you by working on identifying those hidden malfunctions, repairing your body systems back to optimal levels, and then we restore the vitality so you can thrive again in daily life, right? Who doesn't want to do that? I want to invest in my health. So my story life is not a race. You can find on Amazon, but it just really gives you all that information that I probably can understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. So what we're going to do is identify some of the hidden causes of metabolic chaos and assess that information. So HPA axis related dysfunction, circadian rhythm disruptions, poor nutrient breakdown and absorption, pro-oxidation versus the balance between antioxidation, so we get imbalanced through there, gut dysbiosis and malfunction, systemic inflammation, immune deficiency, detoxification problems. So we call it hidden internal stressors. HIDDEN is hormone imbalance, immune dysfunction, detoxification, digestion, immune, or E is energy systems, and N is nervous system. So we want to rebuild all that. So we use a 3-step approach. First step, step 1, we assess your metabolic conditions and contributors to your own unique case of metabolic chaos. Our investigation includes assessing your history, nutritional therapy questionnaire. MC is our metabolic chaos stress scorecard assessment, and well-chosen functional lab testing we'll order for you. They'll come to your door, and you can do most of them at home unless you do the MRT test or some other blood testing. You need to go to a local lab to get your blood tested. Then you just ship it back to the company, and then I get the results back, and we work with our medical director program to assess results, and then I put all that together into your program, and we use our FDN medical director program to review the plan as well. So it's not just me, it's just the FDN practitioner. Medical director team will help as well if we need to double check anything. So it's ordering the labs for you. And then we run the FDN. We run the Dress for Health Success program as step 2. It's lab guided and putting all that information together so we can individualize your behavior protocols with nutrition. So we work on the DRESS is the diet, stands for diet. And then we've got the R for rest, and then the S or the E, I can't spell it. So DRESS is your exercise, and then we've got our stress, and then the rest is supplementation. So we've got the DRESS, Dress for Health Success program, and that will definitely be individualized so we know what supplements you need to reboot to stimulate, to activate your cells, tissues, body systems back to optimal level. And then we do that for 90 days, and then you keep going. You can retest and reevaluate and get a new program based on your results, keep bringing you back to optimal level until you feel this is where I want to be. So step 3, we run the health coaching process, which is marking your progress. We coach up your body functions while we coach down your contributors to your metabolic chaos. And then we just meet once a month, every other week, correct the course as needed to continue your journey in restoring, healing, and rebuilding the whole you until you reach your optimal health, or your casual factors, we say, are resolved. So everything you do to self-treat the whole you and to resolve your metabolic chaos, that is going to bring you back to the ideal you. And it's self-treat, right? So it's not me doing the work for you. You have to do the work. I'm here to support you and cheer you on and to give you some feedback and encourage you and work on identifying your areas of opportunity. Where do you need to go next? And work on that. Where do you need to go in your exercise program? What do you need to do differently in what you're eating based on the metabolic typing diet, based on your blood sugar measurements, based on your energy levels, your body weight, maybe measuring your body fat, see where you are. I like people to measure their waist. And where do we need to go to reach optimal health? So, reach optimal health, but really I want to be the best me, best version of myself, right? What do you need to do to thrive and feel alive every day? So, I think this is what I'm doing in the new year. I'm coaching people Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and then I'm personal training still Tuesday, Thursdays, and some people at home. But really, this is where my heart is. This is what makes me excited. And to motivate people to reach success is so much fun. And really connecting with clients, it's a relationship. It's a partnership. Health detective work isn't just me telling you what to do. It's let's work on what you feel, how you are responding to the supplements. How are you feeling your energy each day? What food makes you feel good and what food doesn't make you feel good? And paying attention to those red flags. It isn't taking the supplements by itself. As I said, I did that for years, didn't get very far. If I kept living the life schedule I was doing, I would still be a total disaster. Now I'm just part disaster. But I feel great. And, I'm getting where I want, but I could be better. So if you want to be better, you want to move better, look better, and feel better from the inside out, that's what the health coaching program will do. And not just health, but performance and longevity. So that's a big part of the metabolic chaos puzzle. How to solve that puzzle and get to you as a person, as an individual, and working on your needs. Not struggling by yourself anymore. Not feeling like I'm the only one out there and no one understands what I'm talking about. Not getting stuck in the cycle of trial and error that you keep doing one thing and then you try another thing. It's so easy to do that, especially if you listen to podcasts and read blogs and social media. It is an N=1 process, and you don't do one thing at once. That's why we run all 5 labs and then evaluate your results with your needs, right? We look under the hood. We want to know what you are feeling and evaluate that and then correlate that with the lab results. There's so much to look at. Not to ignore the red flags, just like the engine light on your car dashboard is going to tell you. You need to fill air in your tires. Your oil's running low. Why don't we have that for our own body? Why isn't there an alert system on our phone, some app telling you, your blood sugar is too high, your blood pressure is too high, your cortisol is too high, you have a pathogen in your gut, stop, reset. Maybe someday we will, but right now we need to do lab testing. Stop living life as a race. Learn from my experience, guys. I've been doing this and now I'm doing it full time. I closed my fitness studio so I can just focus on helping others as myself, because there's so many out there that are like me. If you struggled with chronic fatigue, your weight gain, depression, anxiety, brain fog, sleep, bloating, gas, whatever, slow recovery from your workouts. Or maybe you don't have any of that and you're just curious of, are you really healthy? Most people are fit and unhealthy. They're fit and a lot of people are over fat. They're not losing weight because they're exercising and not doing the holistic method. They're not looking at the whole program, the whole athlete, to really transform from the inside out. You can't just depend on exercise to be healthy or just fasting. You might need to add some other supplementation to rebuild your gut. You might have leaky gut and you might need some support for your liver. You might need some additional lab tests to figure out what really is going on. So that's it for today. I will add some ideas I had for some holiday gift ideas that I just bought for my husband and myself. I am not getting sponsorship from them. I just wanted to mention great ideas I put on my Facebook page. If you want to follow Low Carb Athlete, or Instagram is Low Carb Athlete, and Pinterest page, I put stuff on there. But one idea I think is a great gift idea that keeps on giving is One Athletic Greens. It's a great kind of full nutrition green drink you can take with you. I think it's great after workouts. And then I have Butcher Box I just bought to get it every month, and you can pick what you want, and they have all these specials. So we got tons of grass-fed beef, burgers and steaks and bacon, and that will be every month. We can change the box, what comes into the box. I also have Mito Q coming. I need to, and True Niagen. I've been taking both of those because I'm all about my mitochondria. And until my labs are showing different, I still need to take those. And what other gifts? Oh, I love the doTERRA or Young Living essential oils in a diffuser. When I'm working at home, I have essential oils going on or a candle glowing, and essential oils are better because I don't forget to blow out the candle and afraid I'm going to light my office on fire. And then I found some other gift ideas. Swannies, the blue blocking glasses, I would think people should all have something like that. And I put something else on there, but lots of book ideas. And you might want to look at the book of the month for the whole athlete. The book, if you're a female, even if you're male, you might enjoy reading it. But for women, the book Roar by Dr. Stacy Sims. I will figure out what our next book is. I think Dr. Barry's book on what the lies your doctor has been telling you might be my next book. So anyways, have a good week and we'll talk to you next time. I would appreciate you sharing this podcast, and I really need help on getting some reviews on here. So if you could go to iTunes and give a 5-star review for a nice holiday gift, pay it forward, share the podcast with somebody else that you love, and help grow this podcast as I'm doing it 3 days a week instead of 1 day a week finally. And we've been doing this since 2011. Fit, Fat, Fast. We have 100 episodes in the archives. If you want to learn and read, listen to all this stuff we talked about back in 2011 with John Smith, they're on my archive page. If you go to debbiepotts.net, back when Vinnie Tortorich was just starting, Jimmy Moore, Dave Asprey, we have all these people on the show before they're all superstars. So go to debbiepotts.net, and I also have free ebooks there for you can grab on liver detoxing, all the toxins in our environment. I've got chronic stress one, and the holistic method, the whole athlete I just put on. So there's lots of free ebooks you can grab, and I won't harass you with emails afterwards. I think there's a few holistic method tips that will get sent to you, but that's it. I won't be bugging you more than once a month, maybe with a newsletter if I eventually write it, but that is free for you. A nice gift. So thank you so much. You guys go outside, get some fresh air, take some deep breaths in, And now, and enjoy the day. Make it the best day ever. And smile and laugh. Make someone else smile. Even if it's putting on your reindeer antlers, or I have this little fuzzy pink hat that's bear ears on it that I love. It just makes everyone smile. So what can you do to brighten someone else's day today? Because it'll make you feel happy when you see you can make someone else smile and laugh and bring joy into their day. So pay it forward. It's a season. Look out for yourself and help other people. Happy holidays.
Thanks for listening to the Whole Athlete Podcast. If you have any questions, feedback, or topic suggestions, let us know on Facebook or at wholeathletepodcast.com. You can help us continue and grow by leaving a review on iTunes. Thanks again, and see you next time.